Page 32. Newsworthy clips. Bedbugs move into dorm rooms. Just as they've made an itchy, scratchy comeback in hotel rooms, bedbugs increasingly are appearing in dorm rooms, say college officials and pest control experts, who are busy devising ways to eradicate the bloodsuckers. They're taking off right now, says Dan Miser, Associate Director of Residence Life at Texas A&M University. Bedbugs are everywhere. They're finding these things in public transit, in movie theaters, in cruise ships, in all the different hospitality accommodations. Blame an increase in international travel, bigger bedbug populations worldwide, new protocols that discourage widespread spraying, and possibly even tougher bugs resistant to pesticides. The size of an apple seed, the nocturnal six-leggers hitchhike on luggage, old furniture, and clothing, and can live up to a year without a blood meal. So our dorm room left empty over the summer poses but a brief nutritional challenge. Ohio State University has seen several incidents in recent months, spokeswoman Ruth Gerstner says, including an outbreak in 3 rooms of a high-rise dorm. Workers treated 114 rooms. At the University of Florida's 4,000 dorm rooms and 980 apartments, bad infestations are limited to a couple of times a year, says Wayne Walker, who supervises dorm pest control. The school treats the problem with extreme heat, steam cleaning, and pesticides. Greg Bauman, senior scientist at the National Pest Management Association, says he has heard from quite a few members called to campuses. Like hotel rooms, dorms are an ideal bedbug habitat. Small, crowded, with quite a bit of humanity per square foot. Unlike cockroaches, bedbugs aren't an indicator of bad housekeeping, says Richard Cooper, co-author of Bedbug Handbook, the complete guide to bedbugs and their control. The bug doesn't discriminate on social status. Blood's blood. Japan considers smog observation satellite. The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, is considering building and launching a satellite to observe, around the clock, air pollution coming to Japan from China and other East Asian countries. The satellite's purpose is to find sources of air pollutants, including exhaust gas, carbon dioxide, and carbon monoxide emitted from factories. It will utilize the information it gathers to issue early-stage photochemical smog warnings. The satellite would be the first in the world to monitor such information on a 24-hour basis. There are many types of cross-border pollution, including acid rain, yellow dust, and photochemical smog. Last year, photochemical smog warnings were issued in a record 28 prefectures, including Oita and Niigata, where such warnings had never before been issued. Photochemical smog can cause health problems such as sore throat and eye irritation. A panel special to the Japanese Environment Ministry compiled a report recently on the increase in photochemical oxidant, which causes the smog. The report's findings show that the oxidant was caused partly by pollutants from China and other East Asian countries. Satellite air pollution observation has been conducted by European countries and the United States since the late 1990s. However, current observational satellites can only record data in a specific region once a day, and observation hours are limited. Therefore, it is difficult to analyze pollutant sources and pathways. JAXA is planning to launch 4 environmental satellites, including one to observe greenhouse gases by 2013. JAXA's Toro Fukudo said, "We hope to finalize our plan to build an air pollution observation satellite by the end of this fiscal year. In the future, it'll be important to have an environmental satellite that's closely connected to people's daily lives. In Britain, Humble Postcard enjoys resurgence. In this era of instant messaging and snapshots shared on cell phones, you might think the seaside holiday postcard would be on its way out. But in Britain, picture postcards, those humble vacation standbys, are enjoying a not entirely understood resurgence. After initially stagnating after the advent of electronic communication, postcard mailings have leapt by 10 million a year for the past 3 years in Britain to 135 million annually. That's an average of 2 postcards a year for each UK resident. Postcard use appears to be on the rise in part because Britons are taking more holidays these days to places you'd want to send a card from. Today, most postcards mailed within Britain arrive in just a day or two, and cards by top photographers or artists have largely replaced the dreary hotel freebies of earlier years. But the newfound fondness for the postcard also appears to be driven by a desire, at least while on vacation, to chuck the BlackBerry in the hotel safe and turn back the clock in favor of a more personal and thoughtful method of contact. As the UK Post Office puts it, people have realized emails and text messages are not very permanent or personal, said Brian Lund, editor of Picture Postcard Monthly magazine. The cards remain a unique form of communication. They're brief, scrawled messages, or epic tales crammed onto every nook of the tiny space, are at the same time private and very public, a chance not only to send a wish you were here home, but to brag to or scandalize the mail carrier and any nosy neighbor. Sending a postcard might be a bit retro, Lund notes, but it's a really good personal thing to do. Vocabulary focus. Comeback. Eradicate. Hitchhike. Discriminate. Compile. Conduct. Resurgence. On the way out. Stagnate. Scandalize.